Hey guys, this is Mr. H. Hey, I wanted to do a second video on recursive sequence just to show you that they are very common and that you can basically use your graphing calculator to easily do it. So my first video, I kind of introduced recursive sequences. I did 2 examples. I'm going to do 2 more examples. And if you need to, you can go watch the first one. All right. So what we have here is you see that we have a sequence of blocks that are being done here. And we want to know what's the seventh term, how many blocks are we going to have? So very first thing you should be doing here is go ahead and label, this is the first term, there's 1 block. Second term, 3 blocks. Third term, there are 6 blocks. And then the 4th term, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 blocks. So we want to know what's the 7th term going to be. All right, so we're going to use this recursive sequence that they gave us. So remember, you're going to go to the graph. Let's see what we have. Okay, I already have it set up, but I'm going to show you how you would get there. Menu 31, we'll set it back to function. Now, to get to the sequence, you would hit the menu button, you would go down, you would hit 3, and then you would go to 7, and then 1 for sequence. And you're going to see this, just like we did in the last video. So the initial term for this one, remember, was 1. So we're going to put 1 in for the initial term. And then we're just going to enter the sequence that they gave us. So they said a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 plus n. So we are going to, let me show you what it looks like. We have a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 plus n. Remember, we don't have subscripts, so we're going to use the parentheses to indicate that. So it's going to be u1, then parentheses, and then it's going to be n minus 1. So n minus 1, close the parentheses, and then it says plus n. So just plus n, press enter, boom, there we go. We want the 7th term. So I am just going to do menu 51. And then I'm going to go to 7. 7th term is 28. So if I go back and I look at this, I can see that the 7th term is going to have 28 blocks. Pretty straightforward. All right, so let's do the next one here. So it says they want us to find the 3rd term, and they said the 1st term is going to be a -6. And then we're going to do a sub n equals a half of the prior term minus n. So it's very similar. So we're going to go here. We're going to go back to the calculator, and we're going to get rid of this sequence because we want to enter a new one. So we do menu 14, delete it. And then we're going to enter the sequence. We know the initial term was a -6, so we just put in a -6. And then we're going to go here and we're going to do 1/2 1/2, and then we're going to multiply that times the prior term. So we're going to go u sub 1 and then parentheses n minus 1 to get to the prior term. N minus 1, close the parentheses, and then it says minus n. And then that's it. So let's go look to make sure everything looks good. All right, so a sub n 1/2 n minus 1 minus n. So now we just press enter. There's our sequence. You don't see anything, so use menu 51. And remember, we want the 3rd term. So it takes us, this one started at the 2nd term, so that's a -5. So I just press the arrow, and it tells me that the 3rd term is going to be a -5.5. Okay, so let's go and see if that's one of our choices. And -5.5 is the same thing as a -11 divided by 2. So that would be my answer. And we are done. So remember, we don't have subscripts. So instead, we're just going to use parentheses, right? So it's going to be u sub 1, and then we put n minus 1 and then minus n. So in place of the subscripts, we use parentheses and we just put the stuff inside the parentheses. I hope this has been helpful. Let me know if you have any other questions. I'd be glad to answer. All right, guys, I'm going to stop this and end it and go home for tonight.